Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jordan Giesecke, and this is The Limiting Factor. After Tesla recently announced they can now coat the electrodes of their 4680 cells using a dry process instead of a wet process, some people argued the technology took too long to develop, and it's now obsolete in the face of sodium-ion batteries and solid-state batteries. Is that the case? And what's the role of a fully dry 4680 in an increasingly competitive, diverse, and specialized battery landscape? Before we begin, a special thanks to my Patreon supporters, YouTube members, and Twitter subscribers, as well as Rebellionaire.com. They specialize in helping investors manage concentrated positions. Rebellionaire can help with covered calls, risk management, and creating a money master plan from your financial first principles. Let's start with Tesla's goals for the 4680 project, in order of importance. First, it was to address strategic risks. The 4680 project wasn't just about a new battery cell. It involved rebuilding the entire battery supply chain outside of China, which has a stranglehold on not just battery cell production, but also cell components and materials processing. That's a massive strategic risk for Tesla because they use batteries in all of their major products. Second, the 4680 project was an opportunity to cut costs. Manufacturers at each step of the battery supply chain, from lithium mine to battery line, take a profit, which adds to the cost of the finished battery pack. Additionally, many of those companies aren't using the most efficient manufacturing processes. By vertically integrating, it offered Tesla the opportunity to cut battery costs by almost 60%. Third, Tesla believed that they could produce some of the highest performance battery cells on the market. Why did I place strategic risks first, cost-cutting second, and performance third? Strategic risks are first because if there was a geopolitical dispute and China pulled the supply chain rug, cost and performance wouldn't matter because Tesla couldn't produce any vehicles. Cost is second because it helps move units and improve profitability. Performance is third because Tesla always has the option to purchase the highest performance battery cells on the market to ensure their products are competitive. Any better than state-of-the-art would be a bonus. So, how is Tesla progressing against those goals? First, they've built an alternative supply chain for the 4680, which has eliminated the strategic risk. Second, the 4680 is now the cheapest high-nickel battery cell available to them in North America, which is saving them money, but probably at most 10 to 20% rather than 50 to 60%. Third, the performance of the 4680 is comparable to battery cells from Panasonic and LG Chem, but certainly not yet the best in the industry. That is, Tesla's achieving their goals for the 4680 in order of priority, and it's still early days for them as a cell manufacturer. With an understanding of the goals of the 4680 project in place, let's look at the reasons why people argue that the 4680 cell is now or soon to be obsolete. From what I can tell after reading dozens of comments and posts on the topic, those fall into two broad categories: performance and cost. Starting with performance, there are a number of companies claiming that they'll have high-performance solid-state batteries on the market in the next year or two that will exceed the performance of the 4680 on specs like energy density and charging speed. But does that make the 4680 obsolete? No. Tesla currently purchases around 99% of their batteries from other battery makers, and they've decided against using the fastest charging and highest energy density battery cells on the market. That's because although other battery cells might perform well in charging speed or energy density, they're deficient in other areas, such as cost, cycle life, or aren't yet available in large enough volumes. The upcoming solid-state battery chemistries are no different. There's no indication that any of them are cheap enough or scalable enough for multi-million unit mass-market vehicles. So I don't expect them to significantly displace liquid electrolyte batteries like the 4680 in the next decade. particularly in light of what BYD and CATL are achieving with LFP battery chemistries. On that note, are the CATL Shunxing battery and BYD Blade 2.0 battery 4680 killers? No, because they're too expensive to import in the United States, which is where 4680 production is located, and there are legal, political, and financial barriers that make direct Chinese ownership of U.S. factories difficult to say the least. As for Tesla vehicles produced in China, Tesla already uses battery cells from CATL. So when the time is right, and if Shunxing batteries don't come with any major drawbacks, Tesla will likely start using them. As for vehicles in Europe, depending on the vehicle model and trim, Tesla can use a combination of the 4680 and whatever other battery cells are available locally or for import. Let's move on to the second argument for the 4680 being obsolete: cost competition from sodium-ion batteries and the decreases in lithium-ion battery prices we've seen in the 6 years since Battery Day. First, as for sodium-ion batteries, they don't meet the minimum range requirements for a Tesla vehicle. Despite their solid gravimetric energy density, their volumetric energy density is less impressive. Depending on the chemistry, that can mean EVs with sodium-ion batteries can expect to have around a third less range than those with iron-based lithium-ion batteries. That's okay for a budget vehicle, but not an entry-level luxury vehicle like Tesla cells. But what about sodium-ion batteries for grid storage applications where energy density is less important, and vehicles that don't need a lot of range like the Cybercab? Tesla can develop their own in-house sodium-ion chemistry and put it in prismatic cells for grid storage and the 4680 for vehicles. More on that later. Next, as for the argument that the 4680 no longer offers a cost advantage for Tesla due to falling battery prices, it stems from a misunderstanding of what's causing the battery cost reductions and how Tesla expects to achieve their cost reductions. Starting with Tesla's cost reductions, 14% of the expected cost savings of the 4680 was from better cell design. And the battery cells used by the rest of the industry haven't really changed much in the past 6 years. So the cell design cost reduction is fairly durable. 18% of the expected cost savings was from switching to the dry electrode coating process and other improvements to the way the battery is manufactured. That means most of the cell factory cost reduction is fairly durable until other companies start using the dry electrode process. 5% of the cost savings was from adding silicon, which Tesla hasn't done yet and could be achieved by any other manufacturer, so it isn't durable and can be crossed off. 12% of the cost savings was from manufacturing the cathode material in-house, and I'm assuming that also included the cost savings from Tesla's in-house lithium production for the cathode. Those cost savings were mostly from eliminating the margins of the cathode and lithium suppliers, so the cost savings is durable. 7% of the cost savings was from cell-to-vehicle integration, which isn't durable because other manufacturers have done it, so it can also be crossed off. So by my estimate, up to 44% of the 56% of Tesla's original cost reduction estimates are still durable and achievable. As for what's caused the cost reductions for the average price of lithium-ion batteries, much of it was due to lower material costs, overcapacity, intense price competition, and a preference for LFP batteries, which use cheaper iron-based cathode material that Tesla can and will likely also use in their batteries. That is, much of the cost reductions in lithium-ion batteries over the past 6 years have been the result of market conditions rather than fundamental manufacturing improvements. Yes, there will have been fundamental cost reductions due to Wright's law scaling effects as well, but some of those will also apply to Tesla, such as cheaper cell components like electrode foils, separators, and electrolyte. So I'd be surprised if more than a third of the cost reduction in lithium-ion batteries was due to fundamental manufacturing improvements. I've likely already accounted for those by removing the cell-to-vehicle integration and anode material from Tesla's list of cost reductions. That means around 44% of the cost reduction still stands as a good estimate for how much Tesla can save by manufacturing batteries in-house. Let's move on to the final and most important points about the 4680 and Tesla's dry electrode coating process. First, the 4680 is just a form factor, so Tesla can fill that can with any chemistry such as LFP or sodium-ion. The potential exception is solid-state batteries, which typically have a brittle separator that must be packaged in a prismatic or pouch format so they don't have to be rolled, which would cause it to crack and short-circuit the battery cell. Second, the dry electrode coating process is also compatible with every major battery chemistry, and it's form factor agnostic. That means after Tesla gets their high-nickel 4680 into large-scale production, there's nothing stopping them from making dry electrode LFP, sodium-ion, or solid-state batteries in whatever form factor is best to give them more options with regards to cost and performance. That point is worth reiterating because it blows the obsolete narrative out of the water. The dry electrode coating process isn't in competition with other battery chemistries because it's not a chemistry. It's a fundamental improvement to the way batteries are manufactured. That means eventually all battery manufacturers will switch to a dry electrode coating process. In summary, Tesla started the 4680 project for supply chain stability, cost reductions, and performance improvements. They've achieved supply chain stability and are already achieving cost reductions, with more likely to come as they ramp the production of the 4680 supply chain and deploy other chemistries like LFP. As for performance, if that were Tesla's only goal, they would have never started the 4680 project. That's because they could have just purchased high-performance battery cells from other manufacturers and avoided half a decade of manufacturing hell. But even when given the chance, Tesla doesn't often purchase the highest energy density and fastest charging battery cells from their battery suppliers. Why? Because what matters the most to customers is safety, price, and reliability, followed by the quality of the charging network, charging speed, and range for EV customers. But what's interesting about charging speed and range is that most customers are only looking for a top-up in less than 30 minutes when fast charging, and more than 300 miles of real-world range, which most EV makers can now achieve. As long as those minimums are met, further performance increases have diminishing returns when it comes to moving vehicle units, and other considerations become more important. Yes, there is a small customer segment that wants the hottest technology in their car, like solid-state batteries, or as much fast charging and range as possible, but it's a minority. With all that said, due to the benefits of the dry electrode coating process that I've mentioned in other videos, Tesla still has a great chance of deploying battery cells that achieve much higher energy density and faster charging speeds. Either way, ultimately, the entire battery industry, all battery chemistries, and all battery form factors were all eventually going to head in the direction of dry electrode coating anyways. It's just that Tesla, as a freshman battery manufacturer, pulled a rabbit out of the hat and got there first. As always, please consider supporting the channel with the links in the description, which now also includes a referral link for Signature Solar. If you use that link to purchase home battery or solar equipment, it nets me a small percent-based credit, but that can add up on a large purchase and it really helps the channel. On that note, a special thanks to my YouTube members, ex-subscribers, and all the other patrons listed in the credits. I appreciate all of your support, and thanks for tuning in.